Hey foodies, welcome and welcome back to Cooking with Kiana. Are you guys looking for something new to try? Well, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these Philly cheesesteak stuffed egg rolls. These egg rolls are so delicious, full of flavor, and just make for the perfect appetizer. They're stuffed with steak, onions, and peppers, and of course you can't forget that spicy mayo sauce, and then that outer layer is so crispy from that egg roll and super cheesy. It is absolutely delicious and the perfect bite. But before we begin, if you're new to my channel, please take a second to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Now let's get started. For this recipe, you'll need 1 pound of steak. I'm using 2 thin slices of ribeye. However, you can use any cut of steak you would like. Just make sure it doesn't have a bone in there. 8 slices of provolone cheese and a cup of mozzarella cheese. Egg roll wraps, which was extremely hard to find, so you might want to go to your local Asian mart to save you the frustration of going to several different stores. 1 medium onion diced. 1 green bell pepper diced. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of Lawrys seasoning, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and you can find all of these ingredients listed in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. So first things first, you want to go ahead and chop up your steak into thin slices. Now to make this a lot easier, you want to make sure your steak is slightly frozen. That way it'll be easier for you to cut into it and you can get a very thin slice. When you're cutting these, you want to make sure you cut against the grain. That way the steak can be nice and soft. Your steak should be nice and thin like you see here. And if you want to, you can buy the steak that already comes shaved at the store, just to save you a step. You can even use the steakums from the frozen section. I'm not judging. So now that we're done cutting up our steak, it's time to get them all nice and seared. So you're going to go ahead and add a generous amount of oil. Then go ahead and add in those onions and those peppers. You're going to go ahead and let that saute over medium heat so those onions and peppers can soften up a bit. So you're going to let this cook for about 2 minutes. That is all you need. Now once they are nice and translucent like you see right here, I'm going to go ahead and add in that steak. And I'm going to go ahead and follow that up by adding in my seasoning. And I use smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and Lawrys seasoning. Now go ahead and season that to taste. If you guys need a guide, I'll always have the measurements in the description box below and at the beginning of each video. Now go ahead and give that a good stir so everything could be well incorporated. Let that brown on both sides. You're going to let this cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. Remember, the steak is nice and thin, so we do not need to overcook this. Now you're going to go ahead and add in that Worcestershire sauce. Mix that around some more. Remember, you want that steak to be nice and juicy and soft, especially since we're going to be frying it up in those egg rolls. So this right here is perfect. Alright, so now that we're all done with the filling, let's get started on these egg rolls. So you're going to go ahead and spread out that egg roll, add your provolone cheese, top it off with a little bit of steak. Try not to overfill it with the steak because it's going to be hard to wrap this up. Add a small handful of mozzarella cheese on top and then brush that egg wash on all corners. Now the egg wash is just 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of water, and I just mix that up, and that's just to make sure everything stays sealed when we fry this. So to wrap this up, you're going to take your 2 side corners, meet them in the middle like this, and take the corner that is facing you and fold that away from you so they meet the other side corners. Then you're going to go ahead and tuck that under and just focus on tucking and rolling. You're going to continue to keep rolling that until you get all the way to the end, and trust me, it is not going to be perfect, but once you keep making these, they will get better. So let me go ahead and show you guys how to roll this one more time. You're going to take the 2 side corners and let them fold to meet in the middle. Then you're going to fold the one up top like an envelope. Now you're going to go ahead and tuck that under and just tuck and roll till you get to the end. Now once you got it all rolled up, you're gonna go ahead and check the edges and the corners to just make sure they're sealed. That way none of that filling falls out when we fry this. Once you're all done and all of your egg rolls are nice and wrapped, we can get started on the frying process. So to a preheated skillet with your oil heated up to about 350 degrees, you're gonna go ahead and gently add in those egg rolls, making sure you space them out so they are not touching. Once the egg rolls are nice and golden brown on one side, you're gonna go ahead and flip that over so you can fry the other side until that is nice and golden brown. So you wanna make sure it's golden brown on all sides. So altogether, it'll probably take you about 5 to 7 minutes for that egg roll to fully cook. Also, if you do not want to deep fry these, you can also do these in the air fryer as well. And if you do decide to cook this in the air fryer, you're gonna cook this on 400 degrees for 8 minutes. All right, so once my egg rolls are nice and crispy and golden brown like you see here, they are all set and it's time to take them out of your oil. And man, just look at how crispy those egg rolls are. That is exactly what you are looking for. You're gonna take that egg roll and you're gonna place it directly onto the cooling rack. That way it can stay nice and crispy and it won't become soggy by sitting in that oil. So now that I'm all done frying up the egg rolls, it is time to make this spicy mayo sauce. And this sauce is absolutely delicious. Do not skip this. I promise you, it's gonna really take those egg rolls to the next level. So to a bowl, you're gonna add a half a cup of mayo. Go ahead and follow that up with 2 tablespoons of sriracha sauce. And this is gonna give it that spiciness. So you can add less or more. Then I'm gonna go in with 2 teaspoons of ketchup and 2 tablespoons of honey to sweeten things up, and a tablespoon of sweet relish, a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika to give it a little bit of smokiness, and 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. Now go ahead and give that a good stir until that is well combined. And when you're all done, the sauce should be a smooth, thick, and creamy consistency like you guys see right here. Now that I'm all done with these Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, let's go ahead and dig in. And man, just look at that cheese pull. Now you can go ahead and dip it in the spicy mayo and eat it just like this. But me personally, I like to cut these in half, drizzle that spicy mayo on top. That way when you bite into it, you can just taste all the different flavors from that Philly cheesesteak, the spicy mayo, and that crispiness from that egg roll. Definitely a 10 out of 10, guys. And look at how easy it was to make these super delicious Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. These were absolutely amazing. I hope you guys all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, you can find the full recipe in the description box below so you guys can make this at home and make this for the fam. When you do, leave a comment down below letting me know how it turned out. I just love to hear all the positive feedback in my comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.